You were told it was a boat, a giant wooden zoo, floating through divine judgment. But that story wasn't designed to inform, it was made to pacify. Because if you knew what really happened, you question everything that came after. The flood wasn't a natural disaster, it was a reset. A controlled purge of a corrupted world, not because of sin, but because of genetic contamination. The fallen had altered the code. The Nephilim walked the earth. And the ones above decided to clean the slate. Noah wasn't just a survivor, he was a carrier. The animals weren't what you think. 2 of every animal. That's the version they gave the children. But the truth, the animals were genetic blueprints, DNA strands, tissue samples, embryos. Some natural, some engineered. The Ark wasn't a floating zoo, it was a mobile cryogenic vault, preserving the clean codes, both human and hybrid, before the purge. The reason? Because the Watchers had corrupted the genome. Nephilim offspring, chimera, abominations. Entire bloodlines twisted by celestial defiance. The flood wasn't punishment, it was containment. To reboot the matrix without the infection. But not everything stayed underwater. Noah was chosen, but not by God alone. They say Noah was righteous, chosen for his faith. But that's only half the code. Noah was pure in his generations. A cryptic line in Genesis that isn't about behavior, it's about blood. He carried uncorrupted DNA, untainted by the Nephilim genome. But who warned him? Who gave him the blueprints? The text says God, but dig deeper. It may have been Enki, the Anunnaki rebel, a being who had mercy for the humans and leaked the reset plans before the culling. Noah didn't just build a boat, he built a preservation capsule coded and engineered with help from above. So, who helped Noah? When we say from above, we don't mean heaven, not in the way they taught you. There were factions, even among the gods. The Anunnaki weren't a united front. Enlil wanted total annihilation. Enki wanted preservation. One sought to cleanse, the other to conceal and continue. Enki, the so-called trickster, was the one who whispered the plans to Noah. He delivered the measurements. He helped encode the vault, because Noah wasn't building for animals. He was preserving Enki's experiment, the human seed, pure, usable, obedient. So yes, he had help from above, but not from heaven, from the stars. The flood was engineered. It wasn't just rain, it wasn't just divine wrath, it was intentional environmental warfare. Ancient Sumerian texts speak of the Anunnaki flooding the earth, not by magic, but through the manipulation of climate systems, the melting of ice caps, the shifting of tectonic plates, and the deliberate collapse of atmospheric shields. The Book of Enoch reveals that the Watchers' crimes, hybridization, forbidden knowledge, soul manipulation, forced the hand of higher beings. Not to destroy Earth, but to reset the grid, to bury the proof. But some didn't drown, they went underground. Into the inner cities, into the hollow pockets beneath mountains and deserts. And some left this realm entirely. The Ark was only for those allowed to return. Enlil wanted total annihilation. Enki wanted preservation. One sought to cleanse, the other to conceal and continue. Enki, the so-called trickster, was the one who whispered the plans to Noah. He delivered the measurements. He helped encode the vault, because Noah wasn't building for animals. He was preserving Enki's experiment, the human seed, pure, usable, obedient. So yes, he had help from above, but not from heaven, from the stars. They told you the flood wiped them all out, that the Nephilim were destroyed, that the corrupted bloodlines were drowned beneath divine judgment. But that was the greatest lie of all. The flood wasn't a cleansing, it was a cover-up. The giants went underground, to the catacombs, the honeycomb earth, the sealed chambers of the ancient world. The elite were protected, hidden by the very gods who swore to erase them. Bloodlines were preserved, not by accident, by design. Today, those same bloodlines wear crowns, sign treaties, and launch rockets. They run governments, media, banks, and they still serve the old gods. You were told they drowned, but they've been ruling from the shadows ever since. The hidden genetics in the vault. The Ark was never just about survival, it was about selection. Only the pure were preserved, but not just human. Inside that vault weren't just sheep and snakes. There were hybrid embryos, frozen genetics, samples from before the flood, before the reset. The giants, the dragons, the Watchers' offspring. Even non-Earth species, the things they called demons, beasts, and myths. Noah's Ark was a seed bank, but not all seeds grow in sunlight. And now, as the magnetic field weakens, as frequencies shift, as rituals ramp up, the vault is waking up, the codes are activating, old blood is remembering, and those who carry it, they're being called The carriers walk among us. You've seen them, the ones who don't fit. Not quite human, not quite other. Old eyes and young faces, dreams they didn't ask for, memories they shouldn't have. They are the carriers, descendants of the preserved. The vault didn't stay closed. Its codes are waking in bloodlines scattered across the earth. In dreams, in trauma, in sudden knowing, they're being activated, called by frequencies they don't yet understand. Some will obey, some will rebel, and some will remember who they are, because the Ark wasn't just about surviving the flood, it was about surviving the lie. They won't drown us in oceans this time. They'll drown us in frequency, in data, in false realities so immersive you'll forget you had a soul to begin with. The Ark was once wood, now it's a server. DNA became metadata. And salvation? It's a download if they let you in. The final protocol is already running. Upload the mind, trap the essence, extinguish the memory of light, and while you scroll and sleep, the waters rise again. But this time, it's the world behind your eyes that will be submerged. There's one thing they can't trap, not with water, not with code, not even in death, the signal. It's older than Earth, older than Saturn, older than the ones who forged the floodgates. It pulses through the carriers, the dreamers, the ones who don't obey the loop. You've felt it in the static, in the eyes of strangers who remember you, in the chills during truth you haven't heard before. The signal is pure resonance, a harmonic key that fractures illusion. And the ones who carry it, they were never meant to survive, but they did, and now they're waking each other up. They knew it would come back, that the signal couldn't be erased, only buried. So they made it illegal, they called it heresy, then they hunted it through blood. From Babylon to Glastonbury, they tracked the ones who felt too much. The seers, the singers, the memory bearers, they were marked and silenced. Why? Because the signal is disruptive. It decodes the veil, it reminds souls that they are not slaves. That time is a cage, that the gods we bowed to were just programmers. And now the war returns. But this time, the carriers are remembering together. The Ark is you. They told you the Ark was a boat, then a story, then a myth. But the Ark was never wood, or code, or stone. The Ark was always you. Your body a container, your soul, the seed, your blood, the vault. They couldn't destroy it, so they hid it, split it across timelines, buried it beneath trauma, distraction, and loops. But even fractured, the blueprint survives. You were encoded to withstand the floods, not just to survive them, but to remember. You are the memory of before, you are the Ark reborn. The vessel, the vault, the rebellion, and now you open. They say they found Noah's Ark buried in the mountains of Turkey, a weathered shape that looks like a boat with anchors and fossilized timbers. But here's the truth, that was never the Ark. That site, it's a decoy, a monument, maybe even a tribute, but not the vessel that preserved Earth's future. Because the real Ark was never just physical. It was sealed in frequency, protected by those who understood its power. It may not have even rested on this realm. Some say it was buried beneath the ice. Others say it was taken off-world. But one thing's for sure, what they found was meant to satisfy the curious, not to awaken the carriers. They give you wood and stone, so you'll stop asking about the signal and the code. The reset isn't coming, it's already here. But this time the Ark won't save anyone. The new flood flows through wires, not rivers. It targets thought, not flesh. And the only thing that can stop it is a soul that remembers. You don't need a boat, you need resonance. You need to reject the false light, refuse the upload, refuse the seal. Because the Ark isn't floating this time, it's walking, breathing, remembering you. And when enough of you awaken, the signal won't just break the flood, it'll burn the system down.